Morning. This is Pastor Kent with you, and we're looking at relapse, recovery, and serenity. Three separate things, but three things that interconnect with recovery. Why do we relapse? What is the reasons why we relapse? That's the first thing we're going to look at. So, according to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, 40 to 60% of persons suffering from addiction will relapse. Similarly, or other chronic disease such as diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. Addiction is an illness, and recovery is not always a straight line. Success is one of the top cases of relapse. Stress. A cognitive behavior approach to relapse with the goal inventory prevented high-risk situations such as substance abuse, obsessive compulsive behavior, sexual ordering, obesity, and depression. Now, they aren't aware in most common of recovering addicts to relapse after the treatment that there is a stay clean for the first try. When some in the new recovery, they often given advice to stay that says relapse is a natural part of recovery. I don't agree with that. I really don't. Relapse does not have to be a part of recovery. You need to learn relapse prevention skills of recovery and relapse prevention plan. Understand the stages of relapse are usually emotional, mental, or behavioral, and relapse prevention stages discover relapse triggers and high-risk situations for addiction. So, what are some of the reasons for relapse? Is a really good question. Stress is a big, huge one. If you're stressed out, or you have a stressful job, or you've lost your job, or you're in the process of getting more money at work, this could be stressful. There is so many stresses that can be in life. Another big cause of relapse is people, places, and things. When we come into recovery, if we think that we're going to convert our friends, that usually doesn't happen. It could be from a breakup. It could be from problems at work. It could be 1,001 different things. But if we don't change people, places, and things, of course, we're going to relapse. Negative or challenging emotions. When our emotions are up here and out of whack, okay, we can't think rational. We can't think logical. So sometimes we need outside influences. And it's really good to have somebody that you can have outside looking in and saying, you're going off the beaten path here, buddy. Get back on it. Seeing and sensing the object of your addiction. We need to find the triggers that force us to go out. Again, it could be 1,001 reasons to go out. It could be 50 different scenarios. There's to say one takes us out. There's many that take us out. Not dealing with our past and our steps, not doing a proper step work is always a trigger to go out. Times of celebration, Christmas, New Year's, are horrible times, especially if you're in a family of users. I know it's hard, they're your family, but sometimes you can't go to those things because if there's going to be drinking around or drugging around and you're just new in recovery, that's not a good place to be, Now, I'm also a firm believer that recovery doesn't just happen. It takes a space of time to occur. This, that, or the other thing happens, the next thing happens, the next thing happens, and it just keeps snowballing over and over until you're sitting in front of your drug of choice and going, how did I get here? Well, if you do the step work to get there, you won't get to where you're sitting there and saying, how did I get here? So how do we do that? Well, I found 11 really good reasons why recovery works. You live life with freedom. Freedom to actually get up in the morning and feel and smell the air is just phenomenal. And you don't have to worry about using, Becoming whole with yourself. This is done usually by the steps. If you're just coming into recovery, don't jump into steps right away. Okay? Take that time and get your head straight. Okay? Take time to get it straight. Now, if you're totally screwed up and messed up, well, you need treatment, and you need to go as soon as possible. You stop fearing your addiction, or whatever that is. You reclaim your future, and you actually look forward to it, and you make plans, and you take steps to do it. You take the world by storm. Nike has a really unique thing that says just do it. In recovery, this is the attitude that we must have, that we must just do it. Just go for it. No matter how hard it seems, no matter what frustration it seems, just dive into it. We must set happiness for ourselves and be able to set that in a foundation. Now, that could be getting our family back, it could be mending fences, it could be many different things. Your emotions and interest becomes more satisfying. So when we first get into recovery, they're all like this, coming at us one after the other, and it's bombarding and it's overwhelming. Yes, it is. Eventually, that goes away. You gain energy and strength. The longer we're in recovery, the more strength and stamina we'll have. You start living the life you deserve. If you want, to be a doctor, go back to school. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing says that you have to be a certain age. If you never had your education, go back and get your grade 12. Doesn't hurt. Can always help. Give your future family the life they deserve. You have to be able to do for your family. Nothing makes a person any more gratified than doing for their family. And let's be honest. Shopping is way more fun in recovery. Well, I beg to differ with that, but I say to that, and let's be honest, everything is fun in recovery. Knowing what you do. The most important thing for me in recovery was waking up and knowing where I was. Relapse and residence and terms commonly used to describe a return of depression symptoms. Relapse is defined as a return of depressive symptoms once remission is occurred, but before recovery has taken hold. References refers to another depressive exposure after recovery has been attained. What is recovery? A return to normal state of health, mind, and strength. That's what the true meaning of recovery is. Now, when we get to that point that we can actually recover, then actually we finally get what we've been longing for so many years, which is serenity. And serenity comes from the Latin serensis, claim peaceful, plus a suffix of etitus, which first part of the word is the English adjective serene, which means calm and peace. The Latin suffix corresponds with the English suffix ity. It is the meaning of the quality or state of being oneself. Serenity is defining, and you hone your ability into what you find peaceful, happy, tranquil, and blessing. Acceptance as the key to happiness um, gives us that ability. Accept life on life's terms. It's not easy, but developing faith in recovery, developing a faith in a God of our understanding. I can't even begin to tell you how many times this has come into play for me. When I've actually been like, I want to pull my hair out. But that faith pulls me back and gives me that peaceful, tranquil feeling. It takes courage to build a new life. No matter when you come into recovery, it takes a lot of freaking work to build your life back again. We have to become wise in recovery and understand our triggers and our issues. Serenity means developing equilibrium, which means a balance. Everybody's seen the scales of justice or the scales of Virgo, how the scales are balanced. Well, this is what we need. We need a life and recovery, and they need to be balanced. If it's not, one's going to outweigh the other. You need to be empowered as an individual and guide yourself in those areas that you need. Make sure you have outlets for your issues when the problem arises. Increase contact with your God. Okay, so keep that communication open. Never let that go. Positive thinking is a very big key in recovery. Positive self-talk. When we start healing those negative words, you'll never amount to anything. You're never going to be anything. You're never going to go anywhere. Tell them to go away, because you have X amount of time in recovery. It's not going to beat you because it's not fighting you anymore. It's fighting God, We need to find humanity and humbleness in recovery so that we can be peaceful and tranquil in the situation we're in. It may be hard at times, it may be rough at times. Let's face it, life sucks big time sometimes. But when we have that serenity, that peace, and that tranquil feeling, we can always find that issue and be able to give us that peace of happy, joyful feelings. May God bless and keep you in peace and serenity. God bless.